So just finished the ruck, but now I'm at King's Muay Thai. Skylar's here. Yo, Skylar, tell them why elbows are so important and why we do them for Muay Thai and for mixed martial arts.
Elbow strikes are probably one of the most underutilized strike that I see in MMA.
Yeah.
And they're so important because they can end the fight quickly. If you're losing a fight and you land a really good elbow strike, that can change the whole dynamic of the fight.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. That can cause a fighter to pull back now because he's got a huge gash over his head. It could end the fight because of the blood going into the eyes. Mm-hmm. It's a very underutilized technique that I see a lot in MMA. Mm-hmm. And I feel like fighters, if they used them more, they would be more feared. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about Tony Ferguson.
I mean, it ends the fight quicker too as well.
It ends the fight quicker. The elbow strike is bone, right? Yeah. It's just straight bone. When you're wearing an MMA glove or a Muay Thai glove, boxing glove, you've got padding here, right? Mm-hmm. This is straight bone. When this hits the forehead, especially this tip right here, this can cut so quick, so fast.
Yeah.
You know, and you can also use it as like a hammer almost, you know, to knock somebody out, especially if you hit the jawline, kind of right here, or the temple area. So you don't necessarily have to cut with it. Now, I've seen many fighters get their nose smashed in with a vertical up elbow. That's changed the whole fight. One championship last weekend, I'll get you the fighter's name.
That's perfect.
The dude was smoking this guy, smoking this guy. First round, he tried to throw a lead hook and the guy stepped in, threw an up elbow, split his nose open. Damn! That changed the whole fight. Changed the whole fight, and he ended up losing the fight. But it smashed his nose to the point where the fighter visibly started grabbing his nose, and it threw him off his game because he knew right away his nose was broke, it was smashed, and it messed up his psyche at that point, you know?
Let's go over a couple of elbows and drills that they could do at home.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the vertical up elbows, you want to stack your wrist over your elbow, and you want that wrist to be in alignment with the shoulder here. If you have it turned here like this, some guys will throw it, you'll tend to catch the elbow on their forearm instead of driving it straight through the guard. So that's very important that you want to keep everything stacked here and lined up. And also for protection, make sure when you're throwing this elbow, you don't want to be too tight to your ear to where you're gonna lose range, right? Because some guys will throw the vertical up elbow and they'll step in, but they'll grab their ear too much here, they'll miss the target completely because they're too tight, right? So you want to give a little bit of space, but you don't want to give too much to where you're extended here and there's room for a hook. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm throwing this vertical up elbow here and I'm doing this here like this and say I miss a little bit, I've got a huge area here for you to counter strike. Yep. So I want to make sure that I still keep it tight, but not too tight to where I mess up my range here, okay? So I'd say a little bit off. Same thing with the horizontal elbow strikes. I want to step in on this elbow strike and keep the guard pretty tight here and drive the elbow almost forward and slightly up. So I don't want to go just directly up here. All right, I want to kind of almost like taking off. I want to go at a 45 going forward. That way I still have a good tight structure and I can drive through your face.
Yeah, I've noticed when you tell me that when we're doing pads, is that you're almost like, again, you have to protract the shoulder. So you have to push forward almost like you're throwing a straight shot and then come up. So it is similar to an uppercut too as well.
Yes, it's very
as you're
similar.
Talking about stacking the bones, that's important too. Make sure you have structural integrity and balance and stiffness in your punches. So I do see a lot of amateur fighters that like they're not in the right position before they throw.
Absolutely.
And so the shots don't come out as powerful, right? And potentially can get injured throwing a strike. So how important is it to keep that going?
The position is so important. If I'm over here and I try to throw an elbow strike, I don't take a step and I lean forward here, I'm open. I might hit you, but my base is very vulnerable. And if you block it from here, like this here, boom, in my hands, I can get countered here. So it's very important that I get into the right range. And also too, I need to set up getting into that range. If I just walk into your range, you could meet me with a strike or an elbow right away before I even throw my elbow strike.
Gotcha. So what are some bag work drills that they could do real quick to just improve on their technique and their timing and everything else?
Awesome, yeah. I got a great bag work drill. It's almost like and you can actually use this as a mobility drill for the shoulders too. Okay. And we're gonna go over 7 elbows on the bag and we just run through those 7 elbows.
Let's do it.
Okay, so you're gonna do 7 elbows in a row and each elbow is gonna be a different elbow strike, okay? Cool. So the first 2 elbows we'll start off with will be your lead horizontal elbow and your rear horizontal elbow. Okay, so it'll look like this. I'll step in, 1, 2, and make sure when you're doing these elbow strikes, the other hand's always up for protection and the palms are open, okay? So that'll be your first 2 elbows of the lead and rear horizontal elbow strikes. Then the second 2 elbows are going to be your lead and rear vertical elbow strikes. Okay. So that's going to be 3, 4. Elbow strikes 5 and 6 are going to be your over the top elbows. So lead over the top here. Okay, and you're going to want to just kind of roll that elbow strike over. All right, so roll it over. Think if you combine the vertical and the horizontal together. All right, so it's not up, it's not horizontal here. It's kind of like right in the middle of that, right? So that's elbows 5 and 6 are going to be over the top, 5 and then 6. And then the last elbow strike here is going to be a spike elbow. You're going to not pull it back too far, but you're going to drive that rear elbow right into the bag here, and you're going to kind of use this as your weapon here, and try to get the middle part of that elbow right in the center of that bag.
The sharpest point of your elbow.
Yep, right.
And where would you be aiming at primarily? Your nose?
Your nose.
Yeah.
Like you land that flush on somebody, you will most likely break their nose. The nose is not. It's not a strong bone, and you land this pretty hard, like you're gonna do a lot of damage quickly.
Gotcha. All right. This is good too as well with elbows, not only on stand up but also on the ground. So like
100%.
Takedowns, things like that.
You could apply this to the guard, yeah.
For sure. Like these here. You can't do a 6 to 12, right? Or 12 to 6.
So you can't. This is illegal, but if you just flare it just a little bit, that's legal.
Wow. Okay.
You just got to flare it a little bit, you know? And a referee will say that. It's like, this is illegal, but the second I go maybe 1 to 7, that's legal. So if I do this here, that's a legal strike. This is illegal, this is legal.
Gotcha.
So you just got to alter just a little bit if you want to do that. Yep.
Okay. Yep. So no 12 to 6, but 1 to 7.
You can do that all day.
You can tell that's going to suck.
Oh, yeah. You'll break a face with that for sure.
So, okay, so we're mixing this up for, let's say, the first 3 minutes. Then on the last, let's say we do 3 3-minute rounds. The second round and third round, we can just mix it up, basically.
Yeah, you could freestyle it. You could freestyle. Now, what I like to do, like let's say for round 2, right? So you did the first round just warming up all 7 elbows. Round 2, you can start to use your hands, right? We talked about earlier setting up those elbow strikes. Sometimes you're gonna have to use your hand. You might have to pull the guard down a little bit. You know, you might have to you might have to touch the guard here, maybe blind them a little bit, and then send that elbow. So I like to drill that on the bag, and I'll use my hands here, and it's kind of a two-part, like a twofold thing. Like, using my hands will get me the distance, also help me increase my accuracy. And what I mean by that is if I take my hand here and I place it here, all right, I can, wherever my hand's at, I know right away, like if I close my eyes, I can elbow right where my hand's at. So it's gonna increase my accuracy on my elbows. That's a thing, that's a big thing I see when people throw elbows is they're not super accurate at them. You know, and if you're not super accurate at elbows, you could put yourself in a real bad spot. So using your hands to control will not only help you set up your range, potentially blind your opponent, mess up their vision, but it'll also increase your accuracy. And you can use for example, your lead hand, you can post here and you can elbow on the same side, same arm here, or you can throw the rear. So what I like to do round 2 is I'll just use my hands now. I'll post my hands on the bag here and I'll throw the elbow here, I'll post here, I can throw here, I can do it with the other arm here, boom here, boom here, and I'll just mix it up using my hands to kind of hand play the bag.
A marker.
Exactly. And you're just elbowing where that hand's at, whether it's with your left elbow or your right elbow, and that will increase your accuracy a lot. And then you won't have to worry about throwing that elbow and missing, being put off balance. Perfect, good.
Like it. Perfect.
So round 3, now we can put it all together. You can freestyle this. Do whatever you want. You can even add like a spin elbow into it.
Nice.
When you're doing the spin elbow, make sure that you're taking your leg. So say I want to spin with my rear elbow here. I'm taking my lead leg and I'm stepping over my rear leg here so that I can land the elbow. Because what'll happen is if I don't do that, so if I just stay in place and try to throw the elbow here,
yeah, you're gonna miss.
I'll miss it. I'll swing out, okay? So make sure when you guys are throwing your spin elbows, you're stepping over to throw the elbow strike. What I like to do here is I'll step first, then I'll look, and then the last thing I do is throw the elbow, okay? So I'll step, look, boom, throw the elbow, so that'll increase my accuracy of that elbow strike.
Gotcha.
So round number 3, we're gonna freestyle everything. Whatever elbow strikes you wanna throw, it's up to you.
Cool.
Good. Perfect.
You said step in.
Yeah, so step this rear leg over.
Over.
There you go, perfect, good. Step, turn, elbow. Perfect, good, 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 good. Nice.
Cool. Straight. How's that rear elbow?
It's good, man.
Yeah.
You're landing it.
Spinning elbow.
The spinning elbow, the biggest mistake people make on the spinning elbow is they don't spin right and they miss the target, right?
Don't do
Or they bring their back leg with them here and they do this and then they fall in.
Yeah.
See? So in Muay Thai, you wanna, when you go to spin, you wanna keep that back leg here so that you can come right back to your stance.
Makes sense. Yeah. Same thing like a spinning back kick too.
Yeah, same thing, same thing.
Nice. All right, let's get some work.
All right, let's go. Yes, good. Jump. Yeah, like you're slam dunking it. Ready? Go. Good. Let's get another one. Good, ready? Jump. Good. Yeah, man, dude, listen. If you get good at elbow strikes, it's over. It's over. It's over because, like I said in the beginning, it takes one elbow strike to change the whole fight. One elbow strike, you can change the whole fight.
All right, so there you have it. Skylar, Kings Muay Thai. Make sure you go check him out. Instagram, YouTube, we'll put it down below in the description. Also, if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so. I'm gonna keep on working. You guys, hope you enjoy it. See you guys next time. Peace.